Kaipo, this is such a beautiful film to be a part of. There's a message. It's the first Filipino BL movie, Filipino Hawaiian BL movie. It's moving, and your performance is exceptional. Was there something about the film or this role that drew you to be a part of it?
Yeah, I think, well, firstly, a story written uh place based in Hawaii, which is like a normal story, but it encapsulates a lot of things that I don't see a lot in film, especially on like mainstream broadcasting movies or TV shows where we talk about like real Hawaiian local issues in Hawaii. And so that's partially the thing that I was very interested in doing. Um, and also having this aspect of queerness and of queer storyline. That's also a thing that you don't really see that often um, portrayed in a positive light, if anything, with film and TV. So that was another part that I wanted to be that I wanted to connect with and to dive into more. Yeah.
Do you recall how they originally described Peely to you?
Yeah, he was a jock, Hawaiian jock, kind of no nonsense kind of guy, rugged around the edges. Um, but diving more into his script, I found out more of his softness and his passion for his culture, for his family, for his land, and yeah, that kind of like two sidedness was very interesting to like play with as an actor. Uh, yeah, and just to like find him throughout the scenes and throughout the lines and the script, it was interesting to play. Yeah.
There is incredible chemistry between you and Jaron in this film. Was it there just when you started working things out for the screen? Did you have to do a chemistry test?
Um, I think the first time that we met was at the script reading. So to have a chemistry test, we didn't have that much time to do a chemistry test because we did the film in 16 days over the course of a month. Um, so we didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of bonding, but we used every as much time as we could before set. I mean, before going on set or on the weekends or whatever. We would just talk to each other and see where each other's at and see what each other was needed. And the thing in filming that particular film was that I think I was the only one that had acting experience before. I was a stage actor before. Um, so I kind of had to raise everyone up together, especially J-Ron, because it was both of our first times doing a feature film, my first time doing a feature film, but it wasn't like my first time doing acting. And so trying to coach him through that and making sure that he was safe in order to be vulnerable with me or to take on these scenes. That was kind of like my goal throughout the film. But yeah, we had like what the film shows. It's like people are different, but at the end of the day, our differences is what also makes us similar at the same time in a weird way. And yeah, yeah, we bonded very well together, which I appreciate and was lucky to have. Yeah.
Well, each of you speaks your native language in the movie. Are you fluent in Hawaiian language, or were these words you needed to learn for the film?
No, I am conversationally. I took Hawaiian in college for my degree. Um, but it was like a lot of our Hawaiian families here were a part of that generation where it was frowned upon to speak Hawaiian. Um, so a lot of them had to adapt to Western education and thinking about learning English only at home or if you're going to learn another language, it better be something useful like Spanish or whatever. So but yeah, thankfully throughout my education, I learned Hawaiian. Yeah, and try to use it every day.
This movie is beautifully shot. I'd love to ask you about Keli'i Grace's work on it? How hands-on were they when it came to you sort of getting in these vulnerable scenes, or maybe in scenes where you have to be standoffish with one another?
Yeah, is a phenomenal director. I think from the very beginning of filming with him, he created this very beautiful environment of aloha, of love, and that translated through. I mean, it trickled through everybody that was in cast and crew. So in terms of that environment to be around, it was a very loving environment, and so loving in a way that we were able to do those kind of vulnerable scenes with each other in a safe space. For these vulnerable scenes, he kind of he knew what he wanted, but he also knew what I could do as a professional actor, and like what things could be kept safe and what things could be not done, so that there wasn't any kind of feelings of feeling unsafe or not feeling heard or not doing any of those kind of things that might hurt another actor. So a lot of communication was involved and making sure that everyone was on the same page. But yeah, like typical like vulnerable scenes where they have just the people that are manning the cameras and the director and everybody else is not watching. So yeah, so that was it. It kept it a very safe and comfortable space for us to be in those situations to film those scenes.
I love the Hawaiian dancing you do in this. How long did it take to choreograph you performing?
That was choreographed by Cody Puelplata. Um, we had because it was such a quick filming process. I think I only had like a week to remember to memorize it, or maybe a couple days. But I've been dancing for around 10 years with Halau na Kamale Oli Lehua. So dancing is not something that I'm not used to. So that was the easy part of the film was dancing actually. Yeah.
There's that moment where we're looking at you performing from Edmar's point of view, and then that moment where you both are in the tent together. Those are two scenes that are incredibly moving and very poignant to the premise of this movie. Talk about your personal favorite scenes to film, or maybe one you're most proud of the work you put into.
I think, yeah, that luau scene where the whole community, all the family members, all the friends come to celebrate a birth. I mean, the birthing of a child or the first birthday, a baby luau, which is a very important celebration in Hawaii. That kind of scene to film, one, was very fun because, if you have a lot of your friends and um, the atmosphere in onset was just a loving atmosphere, and it was a joy to film those scenes. What was the most important scene? What I felt most connected to was a scene while I was in the river, when Peter was in the river talking about um, the water issues that were going on in Maui, because that's a real, and we saw it as a result, that water rights and water mismanagement and water irrigation in Hawaii has been an issue. And I feel very honored to have said those things that I said in that particular scene, because not everyone gets the opportunity to say that, especially in a movie sense. And so, in any way that I can try to at least kind of get people thinking and get people to acknowledge that Hawaii is not just a paradise, but we have, other issues that everybody else has, even more so in
Beautiful
Hawaii. So
environment. I mean, tragic.
totally, yeah,
It's a beautiful environment, but there are still, environmental issues where, you get the tsunamis, you get the fish that are being attacked. Like in this movie, where there's native fish that you're not supposed to be fishing, things like that. People don't give those things consideration because Hawaii is a paradise. So you're thinking, okay, this is just a beautiful setting. But I love that they explore those aspects, the other aspects of life in Hawaii as well in this movie. And And of course, the beautiful scenery that tragically lost recently
Yeah.
is at least honored in this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought that was beautiful. And I'd have to ask you, this is the first Filipino Hawaii boy love movie. What does it mean to you to have been a part of it?
Um, I think it's yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And I hope that it brings more independent films like this in Hawaii, where we can explore other kinds of genres, not just like crime shows or like you know, I mean, there are mostly a lot of crime shows here, which is very fascinating to me. But that we can explore that Hawaii has more to tell about its people and its culture, um, and especially when you put Hawaii's people in the forefront of making those movies. I think yeah, that is something that I'm excited to see, and I'm very honored to have been a part of this particular journey and the movement that we are seeing currently in the film industry in Hawaii. Yeah,
What are the other projects you've been working on now that my partner is being released here shortly?
yeah. Got a couple of film stuff coming up. Still doing stage plays, so that's a thing that will never come away from me. But yeah, I'm excited about what new opportunities I'll be getting soon, hopefully in the near future.